gonna be very free and easy. So we'll go through the HTML, what is HTML tags and everything, then we'll start coding live. So I'll just guide you through the proper process. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's go to slide and just click on this. Right. So today's agenda, we're gonna look at what makes the website. What are the files that you're gonna have a look at? Then we're gonna go through what type of file you typically internet browser will render, and we will use glitch.com to actually type HTML coding, and we're gonna be doing a little bit of styling before we go in detail on the next session. Then we will try to recreate the HTML website that we have created in the without code editor. But you can start from scratch because this doesn't have like a template, so you need to build the website yourself. Okay. All right. So the common file types that you would see in a website is actually HTML. HTML is the text file that contains all the the tags, and forms, tables. So it's written in a language called hypertext markup language. So it's basically like a text file that you send it to the browser, and then the browser detects, okay, this is a text file that I need to show it to my screen on the screen. CSS is actually the styling sheet. So it tells the browser how you should actually show this text from HTML in which format and which style. Let's say you want this particular heading to be in blue, so you'll actually type, okay, let this text be in blue, and you use like IDs and class to actually identify which text and which color that you want to apply a particular style to. So we're gonna have like a deep dive later when we start with this, so it will fall into place. JavaScript is actually the script where you actually it's like a programming script that you actually listen to particular actions from users and react to it. Like for example, when you're actually clicking hovering over a button, and if you want the button to like like grow bigger or some kind of show some kind of interaction, you use JavaScript for that. And JavaScript has like many will add on a lot of features like animation, so on. But later we'll discuss along the lessons. All right. So HTML, as I said before, is a hypertext markup language. So it's normally it's written in this particular format. These are called like angle brackets. Then you type what type of tag that you want to use. You write an open angle bracket. Then you type something like heading or H1. Then you close the angle bracket, so which makes a tag. A tag is actually a label used in the HTML language. Like if, for example, you wanna label a particular heading. Okay, heading got like 6 classes. So H1, H2, H3 is actually a label that you attach to a particular class of a component, HTML component. So normally the file will be in .html file extension. So you'll be seeing a lot later, because we'll be using glitch to see how the file structure is going to be. Then after that, where you're going to put the files and how everything falls into place. Okay. The next aspect is CSS. As I mentioned before, it's a styling sheet. It tells the particular browser how to style a particular HTML component, right? And it comes with a .css file extension. So the common HTML tags that we're going to be using here and later in the lessons. So it can be like segmented into different categories, like containers. Let's say you want like different segments. You normally use a div, you normally use a section, you normally use a span. And for tags, you normally use like H1, P for paragraph, and for media, you use IMG for image. And videos, you normally use iframe, where you actually normally can include the YouTube videos as well. For audios like MP3, you put a audio tag. And the rest, there's a lot of HTML tags out there. So you can actually go to w3schools.com, go to the HTML section, and you can see all the tags and the function and description about them. All right. So what does the HTML tag do? Does then after that, for example, let's see. Let me just zoom in a bit. So let's see. Let's look at our favorite tag. So which is the div tag division. So it gives you a example, a description of the HTML tag. Then how to use it. You can actually use it. Click here to try it out yourself. So this particular style over here that you see is actually the CSS language that we are actually going to be writing in a separate file. So you can also write the styles on the HTML document itself, but down the road it's going to be messy because you've got all the styles all over the place. So we want to actually segment it properly. So normally the easiest way to actually to style a particular HTML component is through like typing it on the HTML itself. But for formatting sake, for making the code readable, so you would actually separate it into a CSS file, right? So have fun with these tags and have a look at your leisure time. So so we'll be using glitch.com. So glitch.com is actually like a developer playground. So you can actually start working on a project using glitch.com because it has the basic software environment so that you don't have to install all your software on your laptop, and everything is online, so it's easily accessible. So one of the issues that I face normally is like, I'm using a Mac, Linux, and a Windows machine. So if I want my code to be transferred all over the machine, so it's like I literally need to copy everything on a thumb drive, then just transfer it. So glitch.com is like a easy stuff whenever, like for example, if I want to like test some code, so I'll use glitch.com to actually give it a go before I go and set up my local software environment, which is involved like installing your local IDE, the editor. So in this case, to make it simple, so we are going to be using this glitch.com as like an online IDE to test our code and play around, right? So we're gonna go into the coding section. So let me just get rid of this. Bars actually having right. Type in glitch.com. So it's the website with the fish icon. So okay, let me just log out so we can start from scratch. So all you have to do is sign in. You can use any of your accounts. So normally I use my Google, so it's easier. Okay. Okay. All right. Are you seeing the landing page, the homepage?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So what you can do is like Glitch is perfect for if you want to pick up coding. So you can actually go to one of these starter apps and have fun with it. So because we're going to be starting something from scratch, so later on your leisure time you can actually go and check out how to start it. Some of it's like intermediate level, advanced level. So we're going to be starting hello web page template. So click on the first link that you see. So it's to create your own basic web page ready for you to customize. Okay, it will spin a new project for you with a generic name on top. Okay, all right. So this .md file is actually for like a documentation sake. Later when you are using like a GitHub. So this is like a landing page for your code, and you can write how the code works and where are the files are located. But for this project, you don't actually need it, so you can actually delete it if you want. So as I mentioned earlier, so all the HTML code will go into this particular .html file. So this is the file that the browser sees. Then after that, it will know, okay, this is the content that I'm gonna render. And the rest of the files will be .js, which is the JavaScript file. So we are not going to be doing anything over here yet, but we'll be doing something over here in .css file. CSS is the styling file, right? Let's go back to .html, and let me just, okay, I think this is big enough. Let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, you can delete the whole code because we're going to be starting from scratch. Don't worry, Glitch will automatically save all your files or whatever you type, so it will immediately save, so you don't have to save this out. So the first tag that we're going to use is you open an angle bracket, put the exclamation mark, and a dog type. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all right. And you type dog type. Let me just go back and see what is. All right. Okay. Dog type HTML. So when the browser actually see this particular line of code, so best practice for coding is to actually document yourself, so you can actually write your own comment that for your reference, and the browser will not see it. So add document type here. So this is actually your note that you are writing for yourself, and the browser actually cannot see it if you put it in this starting and ending tag. So it's like a comment that you are adding in your, like, for example, in your presentation slide or any other thing. It's like a hidden comment just for your eyes. So this, but when the browser sees this particular tag, it will know, okay, this is the HTML file. So we always start the HTML file with the HTML tag. So this is where all your code will sit in, and anything outside that will not be rendered at all. All right. So let's add a head tag. Okay, as we have spoken in earlier slides. Okay, so web page has like a header, body, and a footer, right? So this particular thing is the head. So where we actually tell, oh sorry, this is supposed to be title. Tell the browser, okay, look for this particular segment for the basic details. Like for example, you might see this title over here, right? HTML div tag or like slides Figma. So this is where the title actually goes in. So you can actually put any title that you want. Page, okay. Then you can save yourself. But the glitch what to save, so not a problem. So here you click on show, and you click on in a new window, so it will open up your particular website in a new browser. You can also put it side by side if you have like a bigger screen. I prefer this way because I can see the changes immediately. But just the thing that I wanted to show is the title goes here on top. So whatever title that you add over here, it will go as the main title of your website. Okay. So these will have other tags that will let the browser know, okay, what is the screen size, what is the media that you are actually addressing to. But we won't be looking at it in detail for now, so we can actually omit that. So just leave the title. Then you can
Mm-hmm.
start with the body. So Glitch will autocomplete your ending tag, but just remember that whenever you're typing, if your website doesn't have this particular auto closing feature, you need to type this manually. All right. So don't forget to close the angle tags, the HTML tags with the correct matching tag with a slash in front. All right. So whatever content that goes into the HTML goes in here. So let's start with something simple. So I'm gonna comment this and say that add a heading saying hello, right? So okay, just so if you open up the website on next to the code, so you start immediately start seeing the website changes on your right hand side. Otherwise, you can actually go back to the open tab and view the changes on a full scale. So I like to actually preview whatever changes on the left hand side. So we'll be using this. So in case if you want to see the whole thing, you can actually switch it to the other side, right? So let's try a different H2 heading tag. So as I mentioned in an earlier slide, so you got like six types of headings. H1 is the biggest and the boldest. Down to H6 is the smallest and the thinnest. So just type whatever text that you want to try. Okay, and you can see that this particular heading is a bit bigger and bolder compared to this one, all the
Mm-hmm.
way to 3, 4, all the way to 6. Hello. Right. So this is how you actually have like a simple styling to the heading itself. And let's say if you want to add a paragraph, so you actually use the P tag to type your text, right? So this paragraph tag will have like a different styling, which is the normal text compared to the rest of it, because the heading is supposed to be your big bold title that you want to give a shout out about. So okay, we have covered the basics for the tags. So let's just delete everything except the H1. All right. Just change it to hello world. So I'm gonna add a image here. So you can actually go to Unsplash for royalty-free images. copy image address. You can just copy the image address. You don't have to download it. So here we can use the IMG tag for the image tag, and you can end it with normal IMG, or you can end it with a slash without the closing angle bracket. This is this IMG tag is a bit special because it doesn't really require uh, ending bracket. So this is like more of like a short form. You can actually just put a slash and end it. If you don't have like text in between something like this, all right. So what if you end it over here like this? This will be an error, and this will not be rendered. You're actually having an error, but you don't see it here. So let's just send it back. So the link that I copied earlier, so you can just paste it in the SRC, and there you go. All right, let's just view it in the new. So you can see the full picture because the image is a bit big. Without the styling, it will take up the whole dimension. So we can see it clearly over here. So okay, all right. Image, right? And okay, how do you going to add a styling to this particular image? Because we have seen it's too huge and it doesn't fit our website screen size. So we can actually add a class and say class equals to image. Okay, just give a generic name like hello image and save it. So right now you can actually go into the style.css, and for image for a class you always start with the dot, then you type the class name that you have given earlier. So this is the way that the browser will actually identify, okay, look for this particular class, where is it being applied to. Then if it sees this particular class being applied to the image, so it will apply this particular style to the HTML component. All right. So let's say if you apply the same thing over here, all right, hello image. So it will try to actually apply the style to H1 as well. So make sure you have like a generic name. So we'll just call this hello text so that we can actually play around with it. So, and a hello image must be in double quotes, right? So put a double quote. So sometimes the quotes can be very, okay, all right. And the error is gone. So format it if you want to. All right. So you go back to the .css section, and let's create another class for the text. So let's say if I want to change the color of the heading, all right. So I just type color, and you can write simple words like red, and you need to end it with the colon or semicolon. Hello text is it being applied to, oh right, okay. The style is not being applied to because we haven't mentioned, okay, import this .css file into the HTML file. So where we actually do this, we actually do this in the heading section, all right? So you put link. I will explain this in detail down the road. So just follow for the time being. So it should be style.css. Link. Okay, it's saying like I don't have to close it with a normal tag, so I can just close it with the short form. Okay, link style sheet should be which one? Sorry about it. I was having connection issues. But are you seeing the changes on your end?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see the changes on the letter, right? When you change the color.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So good. Right. So right now, okay, let's change the width of the image because we already added a hello image class. So you can just type width 100. All right. So this is actually it's saying, okay, take up the 100% width of the screen and try to fit it in. So this is what the short form is actually. So it would be, then you put the height as 100 VH. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, is virtual width and virtual height. So it will try to take up the whole screen space that you have, right? So let's say if you try to reduce it, it will automatically adjust itself. So that's what we are telling with the styling sheet. So the browser will actually look into this particular code and say, okay, this is the style that you want to apply. So it will look for the class that is being applied to. Then it will take that particular styling sheet and apply it on this particular image, right? So if we go into inspect mode, okay, you can see that the HTML, the IMG HTML element has like a hello image class being applied to. So this is the final version of the HTML file that the browser will get, and it will apply all the necessary class to it and the styling. So if you go into the styling section, you can see that okay, this width parameter has been applied and the height has been applied. So you can actually play around with it and see how it modifies if you click and untick. All right. So this is how you actually inspect what is the style for this particular element on your web page. So you can just close it. All right. So one last thing that I wanted to show is actually how to add a list to a HTML file. All right. So you got two types of lists over here. You got unordered lists or ordered lists. So which has unordered starts with the UL tag, and ordered list uses a OL tag. So you add a list item by calling the li tag. Then you can just type okay, A C D. Right. So over here you will see the list items being listed. So let's try the ordered list. You can copy paste if you want. It's about easier. So the difference between unordered and ordered list is actually, as you can see, the bullet. The bullet will be ordered. If you use the ordered list, the bullet will be in number form, and unordered list you'll have like a dot in front. So we'll be talking in detail how to recreate the websites that we have seen before. So this is the basic tags that I wanted to show today. So you can actually go to the w3schools.com and give this tags a try. Like for example, okay, your assignment would be to figure out how to add a YouTube video to this.
Okay.
Okay, right? Add a YouTube video to this HTML page, right? So I already given a clue earlier. So how to add, I mean, which tag to use. So, but you can actually use Google and figure it out. So, so you can actually go through this list as well and find which particular tag will be helpful for you to actually put a YouTube video in. So give it a try because you need to know the basics of the HTML tags and the CSS, which was shared today. So give it a go, have fun with it first. Then on the next week session, we'll be actually creating a simple website, something like this. Okay. All right. Okay. Remember previously, you couldn't actually publish the website using without code.
Yeah.
So right now, Glitch actually give you like a public link, which you can actually share this to your friends or whatever. So when you actually click show new window, right? So you can actually use this link and go to your site. So, but it will have that glitch.me tag at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, at the back. So this is how actually a file, a website will work. So you actually post your HTML files somewhere on the web, and your browser is actually showing the final version what you have done. All right.
Okay.
So think of it like you put all your files over here. You type your HTML code, and this is the final version that your users will see when they actually go to that particular link. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have fun with it. Try to recreate your website that you created in the without code if you have the time, or you just can just try out these tags and see whether you can actually come up with a basic website before you apply the styling. Okay.
Okay.
All the best. See you next week.
Thank you.